It was only the third that it was on purpose.
You were still on purpose being a jerk.
First time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you. Third time,
we're killing him. Deal. All right. So, last before the break, you had all witnessed kind of what horrors were going on inside the plantation. You saw red burn down a cornfield. And then eventually the sun rose, and you can all continue your trek north to Vermunden.
Yes.
Aye, Captain.
Nick, are you? I just realized.
Yep.
There he is. Okay. Yes. All right. So you guys are heading back. You guys are continuing north towards Vermunden.
Yes.
Okay. Even at a normal pace, it'll only take 3 hours. It'll take 2.5 if you go fast.
Well, I mean, we don't need to go to Vermunden. We need to go past it, right?
It's the city of Vermunden, and then just north of Vermunden, it's the cemetery, but it's part of Vermunden.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Vermunden City Cemetery.
Got it.
Yep. Okay. So, who's at? Are you guys going fast? Normal speed.
Fast. We're on a crunchy time.
All right, fast pace it is.
Yeet.
Okay. So, going fast, you can't really keep track of what's going on around you. You don't notice anything watching or anything, but you eventually do see small wooden walls of a little town. Welcome to Vermunden.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, that was really funny. Welcome to Vermunden. Thank you.
So, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna find a Oh, wait, what time is it?
Right now it's literally 8 in the morning.
We're gonna find a graveyard.
Gravestone.
What?
We're gonna go find a graveyard.
Straight to the graveyard?
Yep.
Okay. Do an investigation check or perception.
I'll do perception.
Natural
Do that.
20.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Dimm, you kind of just walk in, find the nearest person. It's just an older man on a rocking chair. You take your hat off and just ask for directions towards the cemetery. He just points with his pipe down the road. You tip your hat, you get back on the cart, and you head down towards the cemetery. It is the largest cemetery you have ever seen.
Fuck.
There are rows and rows and rows.
Is it at least, like, in any order?
You don't know. There's not
Can
really
I-
an order to death, Valark.
No.
Yeah.
Damn, Tommaso.
I meant, like, is it...
It's not Nick, you
meant-
can't organize, like, you can't alphabetize it. Is there like, okay, but is there like the oldest looking ones? Can we start there?
Oldest looking ones, some are broken, but the further you go back, you can tell that they're older.
Okay, well, let's start in the back, boys.
I wouldn't say it's gonna be ancient, because based off of what,
Can we check the
October-
Can we check the headstones for dates?
Sure.
because Kralav was still alive 100 years after, so we're looking for something that's what, at least 500 to 700 years, if it's here. Does that sound about right, Moss? When did Tobin get the...
Most of you don't know this because I haven't really announced the full history of Raktiel, but I do have a full timeline. So it's AGP, which is after the Great Purge, and BGP, which is before the Great Purge.
Okay.
That was the the Great Purge was the collision that Grimuld told you about between Bahamut and Tiamat colliding, and that was the birth of the Scorching. That was the Great Purge. So Kralav, Nick, sealed the demon 200 years AGP, eventually going insane about 100 years after that. And then it was said that he died or went insane somewhere 300 to 400 AGP.
Yes, but then Tobin said that Kralav gave him that mace sometime after those articles claimed that he died.
Yep.
So
that would have been around the year 700 AGP.
Where are we now?
Range.
Right now is the year 1000.
Okay, so pretty much we have
1070.
300 max years ago.
Then we start there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, whoever's looking, do an investigation check.
Let's start looking, boys.
I mean, we all might as well help,
Yeah.
even if our investigation check is giving us 5.
Oh man, well, not as cool as I
Ugh,
thought.
I got a 3.
I got a 16.
15, Tommaso.
15, 16, 3,
5.
5, 20?
No. 13?
13. Okay.
Oh.
So, with the amount of you can all cut quite a few rows of gravestones. Most of these gravestones have not fallen apart. They are a couple hundred years old, but they are still mostly intact. Eventually, the Lark, as you kind of are skimming through the name, you knowing it the best, reading it a couple times now, you do see one. Kralav Silent. Born, died. No dates.
Does anyone else want to ruin this gravesite?
Can I look at the stone to see if anything has been like erased or modified?
Sure. Do an investigation check on the gravestone. On the gravesite.
Oh, I didn't. I missed that. Sorry.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check on the gravestone / site.
Okay, can I do that with advantage because it's related to rocks and I'm a dwarf?
Sure, actually.
Okay, nat 20.
Rock.
Okay. Out of all the other gravestones, this looks very well upkept. And as the other ones look dusty and mossy, this one has moss in a lot of locations, but the top right corner of it does not seem to have any moss growing on it.
Someone
I'm
been
gonna
sitting on this
fiddle with it and maybe like push it or pull it from that corner.
You wrap your hand around the corner and you kind of just begin wiggling it in your hand. You feel that it's loose.
Okay. I will attempt to like lift it.
Okay. It lifts off the graves, revealing a pulley.
Okay. I presume everybody's like over here now.
Mm-hmm.
I will actuate this device.
Okay. Is everyone kind of standing on top of the gravestone, or like where the body would be?
Yes.
I guess.
I know where this is going.
Joop.
I probably would.
If you say
I wouldn't know
walk
any
up
better.
Trunk, I swear to
As Grimuld lifts up the pulley system, the ground beneath all of you open. You all 5 fall 10 feet down a staircase as the opening opened very quickly. You all will take...
No deck save?
I'll give you a deck save to halve the damage.
Can I consider my shield equipped?
Huh?
Can I consider my
failed that
shield
dex
equipped?
save.
Sure.
I got a 7.
Because I think that gives. I mean, it's not much, but that gives me some.
18.
Gotta check.
Tommaso,
features and
Yes.
because of danger awareness, would Dimm be able to get out of the way with an 18 dex save?
You get +2 because you're all close enough to me.
Dirty 20 for an 18 dex
Oh,
save.
then
Because
dirty 20,
this
yeah.
technically, I would say, is almost a trap.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that it specifically says this is built for.
Okay. Dimm and Syrah, you are able to, with a dirty 20, jump off and kind of onto the other burial site. Just
I
off
also
the
got
side.
a dirty 20.
All right.
I will.
Grimuld, you kind of just hold on to the edge of the gravestone and just roll off onto the side, looking down at the staircase. That Valark, what did you roll for a deck save? 7? Yeah, Valark
Valark.
and Crush just
No, wait.
topple down the stairs.
I got a 21, but
you
also
got a
with
21?
but also with my monk feature, slow fall, I can use my reaction and it reduces any damage by 20.
So it's just Nick.
So it's literally probably me just landing.
We're all
Calamity.
here for Nick's dead bishop, and he's the one that falls down the stairs.
Yep. Valark is the only one that fell down the stairs.
I can just see how
Valark,
many
you,
flights of stairs do I fall down? How long?
it's a flight. It's 10 feet.
Whole 5 stairs.
You take 2 damage. 2 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so here's how it goes
And-
down. So as I fall, you hear me go, and I hit the bottom. It's like, is everyone okay? As I look up and see everyone's
Perfectly fine.
hasn't fallen.
So,
Look
Valark,
down at your stupid ass.
I
Valark,
said,
as you fall to the bottom, you are prone. As you slowly pick yourself up, you look around, your party is not there. Or you turn back around where you fell, your party is not with you. But you can see the staircase and you can see them at the top. And you turn around and you are in a dimly lit room.
As in, there is someone here
Lighting the
recently.
candles.
lighting the candle.
be magic candles.
There is a door about 10 feet in front of you.
Valark's not gonna wait for his party to catch up. He's gonna go through the door. He took the fall. He wants to see what's beyond this door.
Okay. Do you want to do a perception check for anything in the room?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my passive 19.
Passive 19. As you kind of walk through slowly, trying not to make much of a sound, you look at the walls. The mark that is on the bottom of the mace, the bear with the slash through it, is covering almost every inch of the walls from different things as like paint, blood, scratched into the dirt.
Oh,
There's a desk with a book open, 2 books, one about bears and one about different weapons.
Mm.
And
Okay.
there is a bookshelf, but there is nothing in the book anymore.
so there's 2 books on the desk, and that's it. There's only 2 books in this room.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go through the door.
Okay. Do another perception check.
Okay. Passive 19.
Passive 19. You slowly open the shambled wooden door to a room similar in size, but in the middle of the room there's a little tiny circular red carpet with a very old man with his back just staring at the wall, where it's a painting on the wall he's facing out away from you of a bear, all hair on it, and it looks like he's biting his fingers, just rocking back and
Oh.
Has he noticed me yet?
no.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna very calmly try to get his attention because I don't want to set him off, and quietly say, hello?
Yes, yes. As he just stands up, he is skin and bone. He is skinny as hell. He is not wearing a shirt. He's wearing what looks to be worn pants, torn a bit at the knees, and his beard goes almost all the way down to the floor.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. What do you want?
Are you Kralav?
Who?
Oh God. I'm going to avoid any further confusions. I'm not going to use words. I'm going to take the mace out and show it to him and see if he recognizes it.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to use words. I'm going to take the mace out.
He needs to be put down.
Oh no! He might recognize the mace.
I know, we know, Nick.
It's
If I
time.
use
Nick,
words,
if people made fun of me for taking off my belt buckle, we're gonna make fun of you for taking out the mace.
His
Dimm
Face.
slowly reaches down and takes off his belt buckle. She slaps him. Ma'am.
Like you're trying to get fresh with.
Valar, you hold the mace out in front of you in both hands. His eyes kind of narrow a bit as he kind of walks kind of bow-legged, his feet kind of facing opposite directions. Just wide stance, just walking over slump. How'd you get my mace?
well, you see, a close friend of yours gave it to me. I'm not sure if you remember a guy named Tobin.
Oh, I remember Tobin.
Oh my
He's a
god.
little guy.
Yes, very little.
How's he doing?
He seems to be doing okay. He's still stuck in that room, though.
Are we all kind of like
That's
hanging out in the doorway watching this happen?
You all kind of begin to slowly walk down as you see Valark just in a doorway talking to someone, but you don't see who.
All right, well, we
I
have
mean,
his back.
Do we actually not physically see him, or is it like we see Valark and there's a
You see Valark's back, it looking through a door. You can hear someone talking to him, but you cannot see them.
Okay. It's more-
All right, well, we have his back. If he needs us, we're here.
And he kind of just grabs the as his arms kind of drop at the weight of it, but he continues to kind of just hold it up as best as he can. It does not hit the ground, and he just examines it, rubbing his fingers across, and then he looks back up at you, Valark, and he goes, "There's something similar about you. I
What?
can't quite. There's something similar about you. I can't quite put my tongue on it." Turns around with his mace as he just puts it on his shoulder and just starts pacing around the room, kind of just touching the walls of the bear, putting his finger against his lip, looking back at you. Who are you?
My name is Valark, and I am like you. I used to be a follower of Archibald.
Oh, I can tell that. But there's something about... And he kind of sits back down in the little red circle, legs crossed, with his mace now on his lap, still continuing to just touch his chin and his... You seem familiar. Just can't think of it.
Perhaps did you know a man named Septimus?
Oh! That's
Oh,
who!
God.
And he stands back up, and he's now... He kind of leaves his mace on the floor. Everyone else, you only see hands kind of gripping at Valark's face, like his cheeks, kind of like stretching the skin a little bit, just examining Valark's face. Old, wrinkled hands just touching Valark.
He's fine.
And
He's got this.
He kind of just pulls your face, turns it to the side, cocking your head, and he goes, "You're a dead ringer for him."
So
it's because of him I don't have any books left.
Excuse me?
He took the book. I gave them to him.
Why did you give him the books?
I don't quite remember.
I don't quite remember.
And he starts pacing again. It was something about the bear. What was it? He was seeking knowledge. And I'd already read the books 1,000 times over. I guess he just wanted the knowledge and I had read them, so I gave him. And he sits back down. Who are you?
Wait, did I hear that he said that? Can we hear him?
Yeah, you can hear him. You can hear that he brought up Septimus.
Can I step, like, not to interject myself into the conversation, but just to step, like, behind Valark so I can see overish?
Yeah. You see an old man, elf, long gray hair that goes down to his butt, and a beard that is now curling on the.
Or do you mean the guy? Or do you mean an old man who I think might be Hitler? I'm not gonna kill that guy either.
He looked like Hitler. Yeah, a little.
Sorry, I gotta get my John Mulaney references in when I see them.
Does he look anything like Boomy from like?
Oh my
A
god!
little bit, yeah.
Okay, because that's
Just
what I.
the beard is much.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, but
Honestly,
Boomy is jacked. Boomy is jacked.
This guy is.
Yeah,
skin and bone.
Boomy is jacked.
Yeah, but Boomy is only jacked after he reveals who he is. Like,
Yeah,
was just wearing
under
the
the
big
robes,
robe.
he looks skinny.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
the robes concealed
okay,
his
but
form.
like Boomy pre-knowing he was jacked.
Sure.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, so
Okay.
you think he's a skinny man, but he's not.
This man is not even wearing a shirt. He
I
is
got
skinny.
it, Tommaso. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to ask him about do you know what my father did with the books?
I don't know. Might have read them. Might have burned them.
I have a feeling it's the latter. Because I have no knowledge of where these books might be. Probably destroyed.
Well, I don't remember much, but I do remember he wanted to fight the bear. So he told me he wanted knowledge. So it's probably somewhere.
Okay.
Probably somewhere.
Probably so. That's better than not anywhere.
At this moment, he notices Sarah and stands back up and walks towards you and goes, "You look familiar too."
Oh God.
Oh no! Well, is it because I look like him?
Hitler?
He looks at Valark and goes and looks back at you and goes, "No, you're not bald."
Of course, we
That's
just
true,
chuckle at that.
Speaking of you, elf,
I
boy.
heard. I'm moving.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sometimes
Uh-oh.
I think it's the mom.
I got that, but I don't know what the context is.
He's moving apparently.
To do something, and while I was transitioning, I got in trouble.
I see.
Okay. Are you back now?
Let him
No,
talk-
well, yes.
Let him
but,
talk to Kelly.
I'm
Let him talk to
taking-
Kelly first.
Okay. But you're familiar, but you don't look like Septimus.
Well,
Similar, but that's not who.
Septimus had a brother.
Yes, Norman, but you have a slight resemblance to him, but another.
Another?
Do you know your mother's name?
No.
It was written on the note, dear.
No, it wasn't.
No, it just said mom.
I swear it's... Never mind. I don't know anything.
Hmm.
You could try, so like if you grab the sides and wait a little bit, or try to get still.
Show him the locket.
Hold on. Oh God. Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's a thing, something with thread, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Stop it, G.
Why?
It's
Sorry.
loud.
Clem was asking you a question.
Acrylic.
No, the note said A-list, Geo, but that's my.
No, it was a note to you and Alis.
Yes, I know, but I'm thinking that maybe that's.
I'm sorry, I thought Alis was your mother's name.
No.
Show
It-
him the locket.
It's a
Just show it to
photo.
him.
There's a photo of her mother and her father, but the letter was from her father.
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. I imagine Malark is just like, show him the locket, show him. Like, just.
Yes. Just show him the locket.
Okay. So I will my locket and very heat to him. All the while shooting Valark a look at me. If I lose this because this crazy man breaks it, I swear to God I'm gonna break your face.
I accept.
So you hand it to him opened.
Yeah.
Okay. You see him kind of look at the first photo on the left of your father, Septimus, and the Warforged. And then he turns to look at... He kind of cocks his head to look at the photo of your father and your mother. As he kind of just turns around, walking slowly to his little red carpet in the center. As he just sits down, dead silent. He is facing away from you guys again.
Oh. Okay.
Both of you do a perception check.
15?
15. Valar,
Passive.
19.
19. His right hand is holding the locket. His left hand... Oh.
Ooh.
Who was that?
That's Nick. He's gonna need to know this, so...
Yep.
Welcome back.
Okay, so his right hand is holding the locket. His left index and middle finger, his fingers are touching the photo of your mother.
Okay.
As you see tears running down his cheeks.
Okay.
I'm your daddy, Con.
Is everything all right?
That's who you look like. And he just smiles. That's who you... As he just smiles, walks over to a little drawer cupboard and pulls out a photo of your mother.
What? Okay.
And that was how I met your...
Look.
Sorry, I'm an incessant memer. I can't control myself.
She's my daughter.
Is Syrah holding? Syrah is holding Boris because they rolled away from the thing. She's gonna drop Boris out of shock.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for what Boris does.
Oh, Boris kind of just drops to the floor and just looks up at you. And just is kind of like just clawing at your leg to get back up.
Ow. Very awkwardly picks up the badger. I don't know how to play this. That makes me your granddaughter.
What happened to her?
She died. There's a sickness in our area, and she and my father didn't make it.
You see a bit of anger go across his face. Do you know what sickness?
The sickness. It's a fever, and
Do you want to roll a history check to see if you remember?
yes.
Go ahead, roll for it.
Natural 20.
It was the gray fever.
The gray.
Very few people have ever been affected.
It was the gray fever. Our whole family had it.
A bit more anger kind of grows in his face as he picks up the mace with all the strength that he can and just starts swinging it at the portrait of the bear on the wall, just smashing it against the wall, screaming, "You bastard!"
Blark, what's happening?
My best bet
Okay,
is
we're in a crypt with a crazy old man who's currently beating up a wall. He's also your grandfather.
well, okay. I'm willing to bet that Archibald had something to do with it then.
The sickness might have been caused by him.
Similarly to the sickness that it's affecting Crush's people.
Can I try to interrupt Kralav?
He only got one swing in until he's now... The mace is just... He's holding it with one hand as his left hand is just grabbing his back. There is a sizable... There's surprisingly a sizable dent in the wall.
Okay,
Jesus.
if you grab the
Valark,
mace...
actually do a perception check as it kind of collided with the wall.
Passive 19.
Huh?
Passive 19.
Right before the mace collided with the wall, a magical surge had been pushed through it, giving off a slight golden aura.
The mace?
Yep.
Nick, did you say that you're helping him with the mace?
No, he was holding his back. I was gonna help.
Oh, I thought you meant the mace. I will grab the mace if you will grab the man.
Well, no, it's not like I'm trying to stop him. He just looked hurt.
Well, no, but if he's like bent over, I'm just gonna relieve the weight of the mace from his arm. I'm not gonna take it away from him.
The mace feels warm.
Okay.
So, as I'm helping Kralav, I'm gonna ask him a question. Well, I'm gonna tell him. We do not have much time to sit here and chit-chat about the past and what was. Right now, Archibald is trying to kill us and our friends. And I believe that mace and Sierra's locket is what we need to defeat him. That's why we came here to find you. Do you have any idea what these things can do?
He kind of grabs his back with his other hand and just straightens his back as fast as he can. Every bone in cracks and pops. Oh. Haven't done that in quite some time. Cleared my head. Now you need help?
Yes, please.
Well, I know you don't want to talk about the past, but that's what you need to look at if you're fighting him.
Then please tell me all I need to.
Us, all we need to know.
Is there anyone else with you?
You see 3 heads peep into the doorway like a Scooby-Doo movie.
4, because of course, Shifu is on top of.
Shifu is at the top of the stack.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like Jack and Jonathan are keeping watch at the top of the gravesite. Just
Okay.
I will say, probably you can see Crush is visibly agitated after probably hearing what happened to Sierra's family. That pretty much what happened to his whole entire clan or village. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like he's okay, but like he does look upset about hearing that because it's annoying for him to feel like everybody's just having to deal with whatever freaking Archibald's.
He sits back down on his little red cart as he kind of gestures to the floor in front of him for you all to sit. But he first puts his hand out for them.
Sierra, if you please.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Hands in the. That was not in character, but that was kind of in character.
you kind of hand him the mace as he kind of puts it on his lap as he waits for you all to sit down.
We sit down.
Yeah.
Dimm will take a knee in the back and put his axe in the ground and like kind of drape his arm over it.
For those of you that don't know, my name is Kralav. Kralav Sai. I was born long ago, but my main purpose in life was I was given the task with sealing a demon from what I thought was a deity with the name Archibalic. Found myself a crew, one of them being Tobin, who became my best friend shortly after. Sadly, Tobin was banished to his own realm.
I'm sorry. He was banished?
We knew this.
Said he can't leave his
He
shop.
cannot leave his shop.
Yeah, that's banishment for him.
Oh.
I think it's also a spell, but it sounds like a bad thing.
Luckily for him, he was able to study up enough and find a way to show himself to the outside world. As for me, after what I thought the job to be done, Archibald kept attacking my mind. Slowly but surely, sending the army of Tiamat after retribution, because I had not provided the sealed demon. So, eventually, his attacks stopped coming, as people would not believe that these black metal suits of armor existed. They threw me away and locked the key. So, I eventually escaped. The day before my execution.
Sorry.
I think I might have missed that part.
The quote is, they locked me away and threw away the key. He purposefully switched them. They threw me away and locked the key. That's what I'm laughing at.
Moss, you're not coming through.
I'm sorry, that's what I was laughing at. I thought that was silly.
I'm back, I hope.
You are back.
What was the last thing you heard?
Threw me away and I locked the key.
Threw me away and locked the key.
Locked the key.
Yep. And yes, I said that exactly how I wrote it.
Did you unintentionally write that? And then
No,
say
I
stayed?
No, I wrote it that way. He's insane.
He's doing his best.
He's doing his best.
Old man's doing his best.
Old man's doing his best.
All right.
He's doing his best.
I wasn't. Valark's not actually laughing. The player, am laughing because I thought that was funny.
Yes. I need to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not.
No, I figured you did that on purpose.
Oh, we know you're an idiot.
I thought it was just some kind of
Yes,
cryptic
I'm the
wordplay you
dumb
were
dumb
giving me.
mister.
You are the dumb dumb.
Okay, but back to the story.
Nice.
Eventually, it was my day of my execution. Luckily, I found a way out. So, as I escaped, I did as much as I could to study on magic, on how to protect my mind from the bear. Eventually, after about 200 years, Archibald thought I was dead. As I had learned, he had hired new servants.
Hello?
Was that me again, or
That was you.
God, what the fuck? One by one, as the years passed, I met these bishops or apostles. Hemley was the first. She was a female dragonborn. Yes. Redskin Krek was the second. And then Tiffany, human male. Eventually, all of them wanted to Archibald, knowing that there were records of me never being killed and I escaped. So I taught them how to hide their minds as best as they could. Some couldn't handle it and some failed before they could hide from Archibald. Until one day, I met Norman and Shish. Bright young fellows. They had told me they wounded the bear. Which alarmed me. I never knew the bear could be in. So, with their help, I knew Norm was more of the talker and the locator for these kind of things, but he found material. He found information and brought it to me if I had not read it. I had given my information to Septimus, who brought back home with him. As we all helped each other to study. It was around that time I found an elf my age, and we fell in love. Eventually giving birth to my daughter Vita. Your mother. About another 100 years went through. Vita and Norman seemed to like each other. I, of course, had known Norman for quite some time, so I gave him my blessing. It was around a little while after that, Norman and Septimus stopped showing up. I had heard that Norman had fled with Vita to Xerx without ever saying goodbye. Eventually, because Norman and Vita they had you. But because Norman had not fully escaped from Archibald, he had learned of Vita, and therefore learned of my existence. Only a few people have ever been cursed with
One more time.
Only a few have ever been cursed by Archibald. Your parents, your family, and my wife. I've been alone since. But in the years that he begins to slowly stand up with the mace kind of as a cane. As the years passed with my study with Norman and Septimus, we began building weapons. They used my mace as blueprints, as I used it to shoot magic through it, as he begins to twist the top of the mace off, popping it off, revealing arcane clockwork inside of it. As he begins to twist it back on, he goes, magic is a power. It rarely often works against the deities. But if harnessed correctly, it can burn even the darkest of demons. I used my clockwork tech to amplify magic. I used it to eventually wound Archibald as he originally showed himself to me. Can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I think Nick is staticky to me, so I was like, oh my god, am I live?
No.
Okay, so
we're
I'm good.
listening with very rapt attention.
Okay.
Yeah, we're absorbing.
Good.
And he begins to walk over to the drawer, and he grabs a cog from the drawer as he begins to wrap it around the bottom hilt of the mace,
Okay.
fitting it into place.
Can you repeat?
Oh.
Ooh.
Nick.
So Nick is lagging out.
Yeah.
Nick?
Uh-oh.
Speak to us, buddy.
It's just a rough night for the internet.
Yeah.
Snake.
Snake! Snake!
Big boss.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn.
Okay. I can tell Nick what happens later.
Nick is ruining.
No, Nick, this is part of Nick's side quest. He needs to be here.
No.
No!
Oh, there you go.
Are you alive?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, there you are.
What's your question,
All right.
soldier?
Okay. So I lost you at he was talking about the arcane clockwork and how he used to harness it correctly. That's where I died.
Yep. Okay.
That's about where we were anyway.
Did you hear the part about it can burn even the darkest of demons?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So you're pretty much where we are.
Okay. So he walked using it as a cane over to the little drawer that he had pulled the photo out of earlier, opening the bottom drawer, pulling out a cog as he begins to slowly wrap it around the base of the mace. Eventually, you see the mace's silver color give off a slight yellow glow as he holds it up and just kind of tosses it up in the air as it looks much lighter to carry for him now. As he just throws it at the portrait of the paint Archibald as it sticks into the wall.
Oh.
I don't know how much longer I live, but hopefully before I die, that bastard will.
Can you teach me how to use it properly?
At the moment, I've unlocked the mace's potential. But if you're really Septimus's boy, there's probably something he left for you. As he just begins coughing into his elbow heavily. And he kind of falls to the ground a little bit, stumbles.
What about Sierra's locket?
It is currently just sitting on the little shelf.
Give an
Can
old
you-
man coughing here, and you're like, what about the locket?
Did you say he falls to the ground?
Yeah,
Or he just
he kind of falls to like his knees,
all right.
but he's still kind of holding himself up.
Okay.
Do you have any idea where I might look?
Personally, I never left here very often. But I knew your father would come to visit, but he would always return to Ithacon.
You not
As
the con?
he kind of pushes him back up. He pushes himself to his butt and just sits on the floor, wiping a little trickle of blood that had come from his coughing.
Oh.
He gonna fucking die.
Masa?
I
Huh?
thought you guys were going to say something.
Oh.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Do you have any idea if the locket is some sort of weapon?
He leans back around and grabs the locket and kind of just examines it a little bit. No, its purpose was to hide. And he stands back up and walks his way back to Sierra as he kind of puts it in your hand and like holding your hand. Just a smile on his face.
That makes me confused. Because we remember specifically that there was 2 incantations on it.
The locket?
Yes.
Oh, I guess you're right.
There was the spell for hiding, and there was something else that was unknown.
Maybe Septimus finally outgrew me. Mind if I open it again? And he sticks his hand back out for it.
Take 2.
Sarah twists her mouth around, but hands it back to him.
As he gently opens it again, he pulls out the picture of your mother and hands it back to you very gently. As he kind of runs one of his long fingernails under kind of the gold and just clicks it open as it reveals a small circular opening where there is actual clockwork inside.
Only 10:30.
The man outgrew my wit. And he sits down or he grabs a little screwdriver from his drawer and sits down in his little spot, kind of just getting his eye very close to this clockwork tech inside the locket. That's my magic, all right. To repel him, similar to that. If Archibald gets too close to this, once I finish repairing it, he won't be able to get close enough.
Okay, so Sierra can't be mauled by a bear. The rest of us are out of luck.
I mean, if I may put a bit of input, would it be wise of us to maybe use the locket, as in, no pun intended, but for the box that is now holding our gnome?
You
Sure.
have the gnome. As you see a wide smile go across his face. You really got it?
Dimm?
Yes, sir.
Not feel comfortable taking out the
Oh, that brings a smile to my face. Well, if you got him, and the bear never got him. With him, he can kill the bear.
He meaning the gnome?
Yes.
Well, the thing
Now.
is, the gnome isn't on our team yet.
Well, through my years of research, I learned that this demon that we sealed away in the gnome, the reason Archibald wanted it sealed away for so long was what I guessed after studying. They came from the same thing. So Archibald thought if he was able to destroy it, the power that he had lost from them would go back to him. So without the gnome, he's weak.
Wait a minute. Grimuld kind of steps forward. I think I've seen this in a vision. The great demon split in two, one piece to become the scorched demon, and the other just vanished. You're telling me that other half is Archibald?
From what I have, it is a major possibility, but I've never been able to prove it. Oh, if that's correct. If it's right, then yes.
Book.
I don't mean to interject, but how do we know that this thing ain't gonna kill us when it does eat the bear?
Well, if the seal is still intact, it won't be able to recall everything.
Which seal?
The one we placed on the gnome.
Okay. As far as we are aware, it's still gnomed up. That's good.
So as long as he has that seal, he cannot physically kill a living creature. We made sure of that.
God damn.
I never thought Archibald could be defeated. But now I have a little hope. As he begins to cough once again, this time falling a little bit farther to the ground. This time, the blood is very visible from his cough.
Can I see if I can identify what's wrong with him and help?
Sure.
So it's like a medicine check?
Yep, medicine check.
Okay, 18.
He is dying of old age after years of being afflicted by Archibald. He's just dying.
His organs are just shutting down.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to administer the most suitable medicine, which in this case is booze. Dimm.
Hold on.
Keg.
What?
Hey.
Hold
Hey.
on.
What?
We're ages away from the land ship in our barrel.
Oh, I assumed you put it in your hat.
I don't know if it can fit in the hat.
It would not fit. It is too big.
It has to be able to like kind of get sucked into the circumference, the hat part.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna lay hands on my healing pool and just like give him a couple of points of healing to such that we can at least get him through his sentence.
Get him through his what?
Get him through his sentence.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give him like 10.
It does not seem to change his condition.
Wait, is
Okay.
he? How much longer does he have?
Does not seem like long.
It
He
kind
has
of looks
spent
like he's
so
going
much
any minute
energy.
here.
He has spent so much energy swinging that mace, walking around more than he has in a long time.
You've just killed him, Flark.
Great.
You got a magic clockwork mace out of it, so like silver lining.
Okay,
a pretty good loot.
I
Back
want
to
a
good loot.
grandfather, so like, you know.
Back to the gnome at hand. So you're going to be able to use. Okay, now in character. So we're going to be able to use the gnome to sap the bear's strength, but then we kill it. That's what you're saying.
He's just lying on his back, just nodding his head yes.
Okay, but how do we use the gnome?
If the gnome is close enough. And his eyes just close.
Okay.
Oh,
I kind of step back. Valark, Syrah. I guess I'll give you guys a minute and, turn around, walk for the door.
Dimm will go stand by the door, just
Can I do
waiting.
a medicine check on him? Maybe?
I don't think it's gonna help, man.
I diagnose him with death.
Because we can try. I mean, I
I
don't know if
just
if he's doing death saves. I mean,
I
Anyone
just did
anyone
a
got the
medicine check
defibrillator?
that an 18 yielded the responsive. He's dying. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well,
Even healing coming from Grimuld did nothing.
Even healing coming directly from an actual god through me as a vessel did jack shit.
that was a good
so-
roll. 24.
Yeah, he's dead.
Survey says dead.
Survey says.
dead.
Ding.
Can I get
Alright,
a
well.
hit for 200 points?
Huh?
No.
Anyway, Dimm's gonna stand at
Okay,
the
so
door.
Crush, you want to try necromancy next?
Hey,
Let's not.
druidity and necromancy. Hand in
So
hand.
first, Lark.
I'm gonna
Well,
kind of
I'm going
grab.
to-
I'm gonna grab the back of Crush's shell and kind of drag him out.
Oh, he's not being a jerk because he's used
It's
to people
kinda
dying. So like
sounds-
he's being not trying to be like.
I see.
an ass.
All right.
He watched his own
Yes,
freaking pretty much
he is
father
dead.
die in front of him, so he's not.
All right. Well, the elves have the stage, as it were.
Yeah, so.
Valark is going to grab the mace out of the wall because I assume it's dug into the
Yep.
wall.
It feels slightly warm, but powerful.
We'll have to test it out later.
You guys should take a look at the books on the desk. The two books. If
I can do that.
Okay.
Tim, I'm gonna get some more books in my hat.
well, I mean, I disposed of all of the useless junk.
Do I have to
Yeah,
make a
you
roll,
got more room.
Maso?
Yeah.
There's only 2 books. Just do an investigation check to see if there's anything of use.
Great. I got a 3.
I'll check.
Okay.
17.
17.
Yeah.
The first book on bears only talks about regular bears.
Just bears.
Yep,
Okay.
it is. It's just the anatomy of bears.
Okay.
The second book about different weapons. The first with a 17. The first couple pages, you can tell have been these pages were written out long ago by some random person. The cover of the book has a different name other than Kralav on the front, which means it's someone else's smithy journal.
Yeah.
But eventually, as you kind of flip through the pages of different sword designs, shield crests, you eventually get to a page where it says Kralav Cylon. Flipping through the first page, you see the inner mechanisms of the mage. But multiple times written in it says imperfect.
Oh.
You kind of flip through the pages after Kralav's. You see different clockwork shields, swords, rapiers, bows, every kind of weapon you can. But each time at the bottom corner or just slash through it, it says imperfect. Must imperfect. And that is all that's in that book.
Does Sarah relay this information to me?
Yes.
I'm assuming you're like reading over her shoulder or something.
Well, I got
Yeah.
a 30, so.
Oh.
Valark is just looking at the anatomy of bears.
Anyways, so my next bet is if Septimus was able to create something in your locket, and these imperfect designs may have been perfected at wherever Septimus may have built that locket. So, Masa, where did he say that it was again? Where he brought all
Ithacon.
our next stop should be Ithacon.
So we're going back to Ithacon.
I think that's the best thing that we can do. There's something there. If Kralav said that Septimus outthought him after looking at that
I
map,
wasn't questioning. I was just clarifying. That's what
think
you mean. We should go back to
I think that's our best course of action.
Okay.
All right, and somebody answer me this question.
Hold on. We're still
so
in
that
the
I
room.
understand.
You left.
Okay.
Dimm is in the room.
Okay, so out of character, somebody answer me this question. How the fuck does the teleport spell work? What is the requirements for choosing a
Jack?
output location? Yes.
Magic chalk, and you have to have been there, which Jack has been there.
Okay, so we can.
Jack has been close. He has not been
He
into the city.
If he followed the path, he would have walked past it. So we can get within a
Jack
walking
can
distance.
get us near Ithacon instantly.
Yes. All we need is an hour to set up the chalk.
Dab.
Okay. So I will take the book with me.
What was that?
I will take the book with me.
Okay.
Are you also going to take the picture of your mother?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
here.
she was given that.
Oh, his picture of my.
His picture.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a portrait.
Yes.
there.
Is there anything else in the desk that might be sentimental or?
I will pick it up. I'm not gonna put it in my pack.
The photo that he had shown you of your mother Vita,
Uh-huh.
she looks much younger,
Okay.
and she's just kind of just sitting on a stool out in a field.
Oh. Okay.
The photo, unlike everything else in these two rooms, is in pristine condition.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to take the picture that I have, and I'm going to put it back in my locket. I'm going to close the locket, put it back where it was.
One more thing.
Okay.
As you kind of flip it over before you put it away. I'm sorry I never said goodbye. As you relook at the photo, kind of off into the corner of the very edge of the photo, you see a little cabin.
Fuck. Tommaso, you're complicating the decision I just made with myself.
Now that's what I call being a good DM.
Okay. So I'm going to take the picture that I have of my mother that I've had in the locket. I'm going to put it back in the locket. I'm going to put the locket back together, and then I'm going to put the locket back on. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And then...
The locket now has a slight warm sensation to it.
I will... For a few minutes. But it seems if it's in the condition that it's in, how it's really nicely preserved and he obviously kept safe. It was like one of the only precious things in his life. And so I'm gonna alternative arc. What do we do? Do we just leave him?
I think that's for the best. It literally is a grave. I think is there any blankets lying around? Or...
I was gonna say, does he have a bedroll or something?
There is a blanket in the corner.
Dimm will lift the body, put it into the blanket, and kind of wrap it up respectfully.
And then, I will lay the picture of my mother next to him.
Okay.
And not take it.
Nick, did you take the book of designs?
Kelly
No,
did.
I have the book of designs.
Okay. Just making sure.
Crush and Grimuld, you guys are just in the little off room, right?
I was thinking I walked all the way back up to the surface.
Okay, all the way up top.
Mm-hmm.
Crush, are you in the off room or walking all the way back up?
I think he probably would have just sat in the off room.
Okay.
Just sitting across.
Dimm's gonna turn to Valark. What year you say this boy was born?
Shit. I don't think.
It has never been stated when exactly Kralav was born.
Do you have an
All
estimate?
I know is that he's older than Sin.
Kralav was in his prime when the demon was sealed.
All right. Dimm will tip his hat to the old man. He's gonna walk up to the headstone, and with his smith's tools, he's gonna carve in the current date.
Okay.
At least underneath death.
Valark, are you leaving?
Not yet. Is there anything that you're still doing, or are you leaving?
No, I think I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Okay.
You all kind of meet up at the very top of the staircase. You pull the pulley again as
I'm
the
not-
ground.
No,
I haven't
Clark's still down there.
Oh, I thought Valark said he was done.
No,
No.
I said I'm not done.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
So I'm going to kneel down by the body with the mace in my hand, and I'll say, "You crazy old bastard! You really just stayed alive for so long just to die before we can finish your job. Archibald ruined your life, but you're making sure that we're the last people to deal with, and I can't thank you enough. So all we can do is try to finish what you started so long ago. And I don't think we'll fail you."
Nick, out of character. Valark will get inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Too bad, you got it now.
Can you have stacking inspiration?
No,
That's only big.
no. I didn't know if you had it or not. But-
When Sierra gets up to the top of the stairs, did Dimm go up to the top of the stairs?
Yep,
Yeah,
Dim went to go carve into
I'm-
the
I took
gravestone.
out some of my tools to
Uh,
update the headstone.
I will wait for him to be done carving the headstone. And then tap him on the shoulder.
You tap Dimm on the shoulder?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I could use that hug now.
All right.
I will give Dim a hug. Large boy gives hug.
Yep, large boy gives hug. Valark, are you done and walking back up?
Yes.
As you walk up, you pull the lever on top of the gravestone, put the top back on, conceal it as it closes back up. As you all walk back towards the metal gate entrance, at the very front, kind of just standing there, as you all get close, you see a warforge. A little rusty, but since you had just looked at the picture not too long ago, this is the same warforge that was in the picture. And that's where we end the session.
Cool.